So I may have been wrong about something, and I want you guys to hear what I was wrong about. Roll credits. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting Geek Variants breakdown of Andor, a Star Wars series. Be sure to hit that lovely red subscribe button or the watermark in the bottom right corner under Will if you are not already subscribed to the channel and like all things Star Wars, anime, Rings of Power, She-Hulk, House of the Dragon, the list goes on. The thing I was wrong about, I didn't think Disney was going to address Andor's time frame as a spy pretending to when he was a kid. However, it looks like they're going to be doing that in full capacity, much to the chagrin of everyone around us. I'm absolutely thrilled with what I'm seeing, but before I take over and never shut up, because Star Wars is my baby, I have a tendency to do this. Will, as a newer Star Wars fan, tell the people at home your thoughts, your feelings.
Yeah, I was hoping you was gonna let me talk shit. Actually, I know nothing about this particular series, like how it was supposed to start off. So, I mean, I just try to take notes to see when it started, so I can ask questions like the whole, five BBY, because I think you told me what that stood for before or whatever, and I still don't remember. Um, but I do like that this Star Wars show seemed to be a bit more grounded in terms of people and spaceships. Like it was literally freaking foot chases. You got freaking little espionage type stuff, trying to figure out where somebody is. So the show itself already had my attention because it's that I gotta find somebody type deal. Now we got a situation that pops off, and we got to sit there and figure out who did this. Now you're on the run from the law. So it's a pretty standard setup, but it's something that within Star Wars has been a common theme of being on the run, but just how they set it up to go. I'm interested because the background, just like you mentioned before, the background of how he kind of got to where he is now and how everything's kind of running concurrent. So we got two timelines more or less running at the same time. I think it's going to be really interesting because we're going to get to see more of his evolution from apparently not speaking, you know, the current language. So he was speaking something else to learning how, he was taken care of throughout the entire process. And not gonna lie, I'm glad Tim got shot. Fuck Tim. All right.
Snitches get stitches or buried.
So
And Tim had to come.
so yeah. Everything's been good so far. With how I kind of see everything, but I got questions and stuff. So maybe you'll be able to answer some of these. What's with the officer? He's freaking a brown noser out of this freaking world. The other guy, freaking underneath him, Sergeant Linus Mosk, whatever. He's cradling an officer's balls all goddamn day, freaking, and he gargling that shit like it's fucking cool. Luthen, so like that. He just kind of came out of nowhere, but again, I like his demeanor because he's just straight up like, I ain't about this shit. Like, I am this shit. Like I'm about to, show you how shit gets done. So you have to explain some of these characters to me or anything that you know of them, and let me know where this is going.
For those who have been fans of the channel for a long time, we thank you. First of all, we got over 10,000 views for the first time, and we're over 110 subscribers. Hitting the buttons free. Appreciate it. But again, if you know Will, the man, the myth, the Marvel, color me shocked he's in love with the guy who came over from Marvel to Star Wars. Just
I
color
mean,
me shocked. There's a little bit fanboy, but I get it. I
it
get it.
is.
He did command the screen when he was on their BBY before the Battle of Yavin. That's when the first Death Star blew up. So BBY, that's kind of what they use as a timetable. It's like how modern times it was like BC, like before Christ. This one's BBY before the Battle of Yavin. For whatever reason, that's where they draw the line pertaining to Star Wars. The officer really struck me as a new guy who just got indoctrinated into the military mindset, very eager to prove himself, wants to be top dog, wants all these accolades, and he jumped ahead of people who probably had better credentials because he did like a running start or some kind of kickstart program to where you just enter the military as an officer. And he's never really been like about that life. He's never been about the action. He never did any of the steps that a grunt would have done or a cadet would have done in order to move up or move forward. So the officer, I think, who was basically, as you frankly put it, gargling the walls, because that's what he was doing. Let's call that what it is. I feel like he was just doing his traditional role of supporting an officer, discussing with him things he felt were important, even though he was the one really running the operation. He was saying and doing all the right things, even though he was really the man in charge because he's got the experience. He's actually done the job. He's done the tasks that the officer thinks are getting done. Um, it just, the Empire is supposed to rub you the wrong way every single time you see them on screen. They're the villains. They're stuck up. They're brash. They're in your face. They have no respect for humanity in any way, shape, or form, just for enforcing what they deem as law and order. So that was a lot of stuff going on there. I thought we were about to have a big moment when they kept referring to that chick as Biggs. I thought they meant Biggs, like Biggs Darklighter, and I was about to just lose my collective mind as he was one of the biggest characters that is yet to grace us on the Star Wars screen. If you know Biggs from Final Fantasy at some point, that was an homage Final Fantasy did pertaining to a Star Wars character, but it's just Biggs, Bix. So I got excited for nothing. I really want to know what that drum's made out of that the guy was banging on. It looked a lot like Beskar from The Mandalorian, but don't have anything concrete to go there. I also thought we were going to get Star Wars' first sex scene. It honestly looked like between Bix and Tim, like things are about to get a little bit more than a standard Disney rating. Leave your thoughts in the comments below about anything Easter egg wise I missed. Your thoughts on the episode overall. I think the first 3 episodes were a solid start. It was told a very, very complete story to build a ground level understanding of Cassian Andor. I liked what I saw, especially more than a couple of the Marvel series that I've seen, whatever, 6 episodes long. This was a 3 episode, here you go. But also, they expanded the format, and ever since they did that, both Marvel and Star Wars have been able to get their shine on properly. So I think it was more a flaw of the format itself versus what was put out. Your thoughts?
I mean, I think that everything has definitely trended upwards in terms of format. You can really explore the characters a lot more. I say again, you're able to get more of a a solid exposition going in. Um, Showing the evolution of the characters is very important. So even with the officer, which to be honest, in the military, this is standard stuff. You get people who go to college, they'll join the military and become an officer and have no ground experience whatsoever. Enlisted people who became officers, you just call them Mustangs or that, where they've been enlisted before, they tend to garner more respect and stuff as far as, knowing the job or knowing what they're coming into because they've been doing it beforehand and now they just got the rank to go along with a higher position. So a lot of those butter bars that we see, which is kind of how I end up referring to this guy because I don't think we got a solid name, is the same way. He's trying to impress and do his thing, and whatever sergeant, is there, so that is going to kiss ass to that officer the entire time. So this is pretty, in line with basic military stuff. But again, being able to see that because again, he was an officer, and you see towards the end, he's traumatized because shit didn't go all clean and smooth like he expected it to go. Like it gets rough down there when you're in the trenches. It gets rough when you actually, boots on the ground trying to figure shit out. And he got a firsthand taste of that. So we're
And
gonna,
not everything's covered in that handbook, and you get to do the dress up to
yeah,
the nines and
exactly.
march and
So
sing. Is like,
we're really gonna get to see how he responds to this stuff going forward and how his character reacts. And I think also with that, with Cassian, we're gonna get a little bit more. Like we already got some, we're gonna get, his training and stuff kind of coming up, but now he gets to possibly fight the guys the right way, the real way. I think we're gonna definitely see him, harden up, freaking, throughout the series as a tougher character and more of a force to be reckoned with. So I like where it's going. This I'll give it for these 3 episodes and stuff. Just the way the format stuff was set up. Uh, Definitely a high 8, freaking 8.5. Like it's really nice, and they've got my attention. So I'm gonna be tuning in every week for sure to see how they play this all the way out.
And I'm very happy that the newer Star Wars fans are having something that they can jump on because it's nice that the content overall is getting more edgy. Because I mean, this is Star Wars' first time they've actually done spy as their main theme for a TV show. So 8.5 coming out the gate, that's a great start. Hopefully, it continues to have something to build on. As a huge fan of the lore, I'd probably say 8.5 as well. I really liked what I saw. Leave your guys' rank in the list below. If you haven't already hit that lovely red button, you've been here 10.5 minutes. I don't see why not. You don't want to hit that button. Here's a couple more things for you guys to check out. Our playlist. I'm Brent. That's been Will. Thank you guys for checking out Andor episode 1 through 3 from